Hello, everyone, and welcome to Programming 1, IT 101. My name is Bob Niels. I am the Program Chair for Computer Programming and Database Management. Most of the videos you're going to hear in this particular course will all be coming from me. So I hope my voice does not irritate you too badly, but I hope in the end, I teach you quite a bit. With that said, let's get started. This particular video I created to introduce you to the course to kind of give you an idea what it is you're about ready to dive into. So we're going to learn about what Programming 1 is and what it is not and so on. And we're going to talk about just the whole concept of learning how to program, or in other words, learning how to become a software developer, and a little bit about our approach here at Cincinnati State on how we do this. It's not the same as everybody else, but it's a model that works and works well. Programming 1, what is it? It's an introductory course into programming. It's basically that. We're going to go so far into programming. When I say so far, not completely into it, but it's the first step of your learning. It's a course usually taken by all CPDM majors and other EIT majors. And there might be a couple other majors out there that's not in engineering also taking this course. They usually only take this course solo, and this is the only course they take when it comes to programming. Obviously for CPDM, this is the first of many courses that will be building on each other as you go through the curriculum. And again, once again, I'm going to stress that one more time. Every course in CPDM builds on one another. And so it's very important that you understand that and you leave each course with the objectives in mind, knowing that you need to master those objectives to go to the next course. For those just taking it as a one-time shot, do your best at it, and hopefully it helps you with your ability to program and helps you in your majors. The main objective of this course is really to introduce you to the basic concepts of software programming. When I say basic, I don't want to minimize it at all. It's basically the first time through, but we're going to walk through how to program from step one all the way to the end. Okay? We cover quite a bit in this course, but there's a lot of things that are going to be covered in subsequent courses like Programming 2, Object-Oriented with Python, and so on. So, but regardless, even though it's an introduction, by the time you finish this course, 15 weeks from now, you will be doing quite an impressive amount of things, and you're going to be shocked on where you've come from in really a short period of time. The language we use in this course is Visual Basic. Okay, we will also use Visual Studio as our editor, meaning Visual Studio is where we're going to write and test our programs. It's a very powerful tool and one you'll get used to, I think, fairly quickly. It'll take you a few weeks to get used to it, but once you do, it's pretty easy to use. As I just said, the language we use in this course, our very first programming course, is Visual Basic. Okay, Visual Basic is a language that Microsoft created back in the late 80s, early 90s. It started catching on. It became more prevalent in 2000 and so on because it became more powerful. And we'll talk about that a little bit more in later videos. What is interesting is, and I get a lot of questions about this, is that a lot of schools start off with Java, Python, and so on. We have decided here at Cincinnati State, after looking at this over and over and over again, I can tell you as a program chair, I have reassessed should we be using Visual Basic as our first programming language for quite a while. And in the end, I'm going to tell you that it works. It works really well. We're not teaching you Visual Basic as a means of teaching you a language that you're probably going to be using in industry, though you possibly could. It's very possible that some companies use Visual Basic, but we're really teaching you Visual Basic as a means to learn how to program. And what we have found is that by doing so, we can relate back to Visual Basic as we teach you other languages such as C, Java, Python, PHP, C Sharp, and so on and so on and so on. It's a really good foundational language that we'll be able to relate to quite easily. I could go in how and why and so on at this point, but it probably won't make much difference. You probably wouldn't understand, but you will when you actually get to maybe your first year and second year and how things that you're learning then relate back to this course. So I want you to trust me on that. All right. Also, I really like Visual Studio. It's a very easy thing to learn to be able to write your programs and execute your programs very, very, very easily. And so Java and Python and so on, though you can actually use Visual Studio for that too, have different editors and those pieces. But for the most part, using Visual Basic in Visual Studio is actually quite easy. So it takes a lot of the complications of that out of the way. All right. For CPDM majors, this course is one of two courses that is considered our foundation courses. I stress this big time. Excuse me. The other course is IT 111. This means that it's very important that you set a strong foundation in this curriculum doing well in both courses. Um, it's important that you master or nearly master the content in each. What do I mean by that? B or A, okay? I would strive to get a B or an A in these courses. I want you to know how to do these things. Do I expect you to be perfect at it? Of course not. I can't expect perfection from anybody, but I want you to be competent in it. That's for sure, to be able to move on to the next course. Well, as I mentioned before, it's a building block. Our courses in CPDM build on each other. And so it's very important that you meet the objectives of each course to be able to build to go to the next course, and so on and so on. People who basically flounder during this course, don't do so well, don't keep up with things, don't do well in the curriculum overall. Those who do end up graduating and ending up with very good jobs. So there is a one-to-one correlation with this that we want you to do well in the very beginning here, okay? I'm going to give you, there'll be a video you'll be able to see talking about the criteria and how, let me say it again, talking about how to succeed in this course. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do to succeed in this course and be able to learn this. And if you follow what I'm telling you, I guarantee you'll be successful. For the CPDM majors, it's important to note that all of our courses build on each other. I talked about here a second ago, meaning it's really important that not only do you learn this, but you retain it. I laugh because that's the kicker. Sometimes people, once they're done with a course, going, all right, learn that, got that done, turn this off, move on. Oh, you wanted me to remember that? Yes, we want you to remember it. And so, take notes, keep things, download videos, whatever it takes for you to be able to, retain it and be able to refer back to it a little bit later on. We don't use books. We'll talk about that here a little bit, but we have a book that you can look at. But primarily, everything you're going to be doing is in this course, and you're going to be able to utilize the examples and the resources that we provide you to do so. So keep all your programs, maybe keep the solutions, keep my examples, and so on, so you can relate to them in the future. There's a course that's out there. It's called IT 100. We may refer to it here and there, but for the most part, it's a course that I created I don't know, several years ago to help students walk into CPDM primarily who has no background in programming. Not everybody is required to take it. In some cases, we actually recommend you may not take it, especially if you have some background in programming already, and we tell you just to dive into 101. I'm not sure where you sit at on this. I'm sure there's people here who have taken IT 100, and I'm sure there's people who are listening to this who have not. If you have not and you were told not to, it's not that big a deal. This course is an introductory course, and we will treat it as such. We will start from the very beginning and walk through it slowly. We will deal with logic, which is primarily what you deal with in IT 100 quite a bit. And so if you have not taken it, or even if you struggled in IT 100 initially, we're going to keep repeating it over and over again on how to solve problems and go through that. But if you hear the term IT 100 and you haven't taken it, I don't want you to be worrying about that as you start this course. The course is set up and its pace is set up for you to succeed. However, you must keep up with it, okay? I can tell you right now, we used to cover twice as much material in IT 101 several years ago. And we decided to really slow it down to allow people the opportunity to truly succeed in this. We want everybody to succeed. But with that said, it's not a snail's pace, and it's not one that sits back and says, you can take a week off and come back later on and be good at it. You guys stay up with it, and you got to do the work and stay current. And if you do, you'll be fine. But I don't think we overly abuse you in this class in regards to tons and tons of work. But there is work to do. That's the only way you're going to be able to learn how to program is actually program, and that takes work. Okay? And as I stated before, I have a video that will talk about how to succeed in this course, and I want you to listen to it. And if if you could follow it, and if you do, I've taught this course a million times. Trust me, you will succeed. All right. Learning how to program. Learning to program is an exciting, rewarding experience. It is not for everybody. You must enjoy problem solving. You must enjoy, uh, you know, when an error or something doesn't work that you anticipated work, figuring out why. That's part of programming. And so you need to enjoy that part of it. Maybe you need to take this course to determine if you do enjoy it. And that's fair. You're early in your career, in your academic career in this, and that's perfectly fair. I struggled at first in my very first programming class. I really struggled. I was halfway through the course and I started thinking maybe this is not for me. And then all of a sudden I realized it was. I started getting it. I started seeing things differently. So, but it's part of it. So with that said, understand you're going to have some frustrations as you go through this course. It's not going to come simple to everybody. And as a matter of fact, for those who think they know how to do it, I have a feeling it's not going to come simple for you either. But that's part of it. And I hope you enjoy that part of it. We anticipate you to struggle at some points. We anticipate you to be frustrated at some points. But that's part of learning how to do this. Okay? But the goal is always to try and understanding that sometimes those struggles, those failures, I hate failures, that sounds like a bad term. In this case, it's not. It means you didn't get it to work the way you wanted it to work. It's not a bad thing. As long as you find it, as long as you work at it, find the help when you actually need the help, and learn from the experience, that's how you learn, that's how you grow in this particular career. So with that, you need to be patient with yourself and patient with your instructors and patient with the course. Learn, enjoy the process, okay? Please don't ever worry that if something is not working and not working perfectly, that you're the only one that has it that way. You're not going to hand things in. We want you to hand things in, working or not, okay? So we can actually look at it and see where you're going wrong, all right? Trial and error in this field is very common. Experience in this field for your entire career comes from trying, sometimes failing, and learning from each failure. That happens if you're a brand new programmer or a programmer who's been doing this for 30 years or so. Every situation is a learning experience, and then when you learn it, you'll take it to the next project that you're working on that you understand it now. But when it all comes down to it, when you realize you finally get it right, when you finally get something working, and you see people using the software that you have developed, there's nothing better, and it's really cool, especially if it's working correctly. And that's what makes this field so kind of very unique. All right. One of the things I tell students all the time as we're taking this course, we focus so highly on grades. Students always worry about grades, getting that 4.0, whatever, perfect, 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 perfect. This is not a perfect field. It's going to be, I want you to do your best and I want you to strive to get your A's. I really, really do. But during the course, I want you to trust me a little bit and don't focus so much on the grades, focus on the learning. The learning. The grades are your feedback throughout the course, okay, telling you what you don't understand yet. And with that, you need to focus on that and learn that. Accept that. Don't worry about what you get on some of these grades because I promise you, if at the end you know what you're doing, your final grade, the one we post on your as your GPA, will take care of itself. Meaning, if you struggle for the first few weeks and you're having a hard time, but finally you're starting to get it and you had lower grades in the beginning, I promise you at the end we'll take care of you. And those lower grades may even just go away. Okay? This course is set up for you to give you the ability to learn this the entire way through with the opportunity at the end to show me that you learned it. Meaning, if you struggled on some of the other projects and assignments, that's okay as long as you learn from them. All right? So once again, read this over and over again. Try not to focus on grades during this course, meaning use the grades as feedback to determine if you don't what you don't know so you can focus on that. If you do, I promise you, final grades will take care of themselves. Remember, we want you to succeed. Our goal here is not to kick you out or weed you out or anything like that. We want everybody here to get a job as a software developer or whatever it is you're doing here at Cincinnati State. But to do so, we can't give you a magic pill and hope that you learn it. This major requires you to work at it and learn how to do it. And the more you work at it, and the more times you try it, and the more times in some cases you fail at it, the better you're going to be along the way. Okay? So if you must provide the willingness to learn and the willingness to do whatever is necessary to learn. If you do that, we will keep up on our side and do whatever is necessary to help you learn and be successful. With that, I wish you great luck in this course and this entire curriculum, if it's in CPDM or whatever major you're in. And again, I'm here for you. And if you ever have questions, come talk to me, and I'll do my best to answer them. Take care.